This is the Cooler MasterFrame 400 Mesh. We wanted to build something small, but also mighty, like me. And when it comes to aesthetics, I think we absolutely freaking cooked on this one, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going through every component in this build. We're gonna show you what Cooler Master sent us before it's available in the United States of America. Jared is gonna be running the benchmarks on a build that's less about having the most powerful hardware and more about how you freaking present it. You want it to look good. Now, sometimes the case is the build, and this is definitely one of those times. All right, so here's the thing about this build. We have a very good relationship with our friends at Cooler Master. They send us hardware and trust us to build with it. Now listen, this is not a sponsored video. They just occasionally send us things before they're available everywhere else, because we're cool like that. And this time, they sent us two products that haven't hit the shelves here in the United States of America yet, alongside the MasterFrame 400 Mesh, their new open frame compact chassis. And we had to throw some meta flair in here, so we even made, check this out, custom cover for the cooling. The MasterFrame 400 Mesh is Cooler Master's premium open frame compact chassis that is built on their Freeform 2.0 design philosophy. What does that mean? It's got precision aluminum frame, dual orientation support, and enhanced mesh airflow. The aluminum exoskeleton is the design statement here, as you can clearly see. Instead of hiding the frame behind solid panels, the structure itself is exposed. And look, tempered glass side panel. That gives you a full view of everything going on inside. Look at that. I can see it all. The frame supports both vertical and horizontal orientations. The feet are detachable and repositionable. That's a word. So you can stand it tall. You can lay it flat. You can flip it sideways. You can do it any way you want. Now in this build, we went with obviously the horizontal orientation because, I mean, look at it. It looks like a workstation, doesn't it? Also, low profile is great for these like small desks. And by the way, it supports GPUs up to 390 millimeters, 9 fan positions, including 200 millimeter options, 360 millimeter radiator support on the top, and a built-in GPU anti-sag bracket. Boy, that's a lot of millimeters, isn't it? All of that inside a very compact footprint. And the tempered glass panel is toolless and it uses magnets. How do those work? The processor is the 6-core AMD Ryzen 5 9600X. That Zen 5 architecture hosts boost clocks of up to 5.4 gigahertz and an itty-bitty 65-watt TDP. The 9600X is efficient, runs cool, and it also pairs cleanly with the RTX 5070 at 1440p. The motherboard is the Asus B650EM Max Gaming Wi-Fi. Obviously, it's a micro ATX board. We look at it, and the B650 chipset has Wi-Fi 6E built in, plus an 8+2+1 phase power design. That's 11 if you add it all up. For a 65-watt chip in this kind of build, this board does everything that it needs to do. And the PCIe 5.0 on the primary slot means the RTX 5070 has the bandwidth that it needs for our memory. Our longtime watchers can say this with me. Let's do it, can we? Come on. 32 jiggle-bitties of Kingston Fury Beast DDR5 6000 in white. I mean, what else am I gonna put in here? We only put good memory in our builds, guys, come on. Now the graphics card, oh boy, do I have a surprise for you. It's a Gigabyte RTX 5070 Aero OC. It's a 12 gig GPU with 2,625 megahertz core clock, and that's straight out of the box. You don't have to do anything to it. It's the easiest thing you'll ever do in your life. Done. Now the Aero line from Gigabyte is the exact right aesthetic for this build. Would you agree? Would you agree? And the 5070 is the right amount of power and performance for a build exactly like this. So CPU cooler, by the way, let's talk about that for a second. Cooler Master DT621 in white. Here's the story on this one. The DT621 has launched in China. It's already out over there. It's on the shelves right freaking now. It's got reviews and everything, but it hasn't gotten a full global release yet. So why is it here? Where did we get it? Cooler Master sent us one early, and we're happy to show it off. It's a compact dual tower air cooler with 6 heat pipes. It's got a copper base, single 120 millimeter fan mounted right there between the towers, and the key design goal is that it's built to avoid RAM clearance issues. That's smart thinking. The towers are sized so that your memory sticks don't get blocked. That can sometimes be a concern with air coolers. And at 159 millimeters tall, it also fits comfortably obviously in this case with a ton of room to spare. So what's that right there? Cooler Master used the Meta PCs logo? That's crazy. No, it's 3D printed Meta PCs logo that Chris on our team made. And yeah, you can change the color. The fans on the cooler and in the chassis are the Cooler Master MasterFan A120s. Also, not on the shelves in the US yet. How'd we get them? Yeah, Cooler Master sent them to us. They just launched in Japan, and we're gonna get them some point in the near future right here in the US. They're really interesting though. Check these out. The entire fan frame and the blades are full aluminum. They're not plastic, they're not a polymer blend. It's an all metal frame with metal blades. Super badass. Now, Cooler Master is going after the high performance 30mm fan market with this one. We're talking thickness here, which is the same lane as the Fantex T30, but with a little bit of a different material flex, and boy, these look sick. I mean, seriously, these fans are very cool, and I mean cool, because fans. The air pressure that they deliver is super powerful, and the aluminum construction means that you can push air through practically any radiator. There's also, spoiler alert, no RGB on them. None, not a drop. I now love them even more. For storage, we've got a Kingston NV3 1TB Gen 4 NVMe. Power supply, ASRock 850 watt in white. All right, that's everything inside the case, but what does it do inside the games? Take us away, Ronald McDonald's creepy nephew with red hair.
Thanks, bearded hamburglar. Unlike you and your attempts to hurt me, this system is great, so let's get into it. As always, my benchmarks are at 1440p unless I say otherwise. No upscaling, no frame gen. Raw hardware, real numbers. When you're here, you're breadsticks. Steel Nomad, 3 runs averaging right around 5390. At Cinebench R24 came in at 4,949. The specs in this system, there aren't for rendering, but they're not bad. Let's talk games though. Cyberpunk at 1440p got an average of 125 FPS with 1% lows right at around 108. The lows are holding consistently above 100, which is where you want them to be for a genuinely smooth experience. In 4K, we saw a 50 FPS average with a 42 FPS 1% low. And I gotta hand it to the Gigabyte with his 5070. This thing is really consistent and stable with those 1% lows. Arc Raiders on high did not disappoint at all. 136 average FPS and once again, 1% lows at 114. In the IP Factory, Fortnite, 254 FPS average and 188 for the 1% lows. And last up in the game section is a game that I challenge you all to be better at me at because I'm a literal god in Marvel Rivals. Come at me. Literally, I play a healer, I'm goated. 99 average FPS with 81 FPS 1% lows. Team fights in Marvel Rivals really stress out the 98600X, and it actually told me it needed a vacation after the third bench. Now here's something worth paying attention to in a build like this. The OCCT 10-minute stress test put this thing to work. The CPU hit 90 degrees. That's like a cool winter day in Phoenix, but the GPU was at 62 degrees. Heat is always going to be an issue with small form factor builds, and this thing did fine while gaming, and even did okay in Blender. But when you push a chip harder than any game ever will, you'll see that small form factor builds, they run a bit warm. Outside of a full synthetic load, the chassis and the fans do an incredible job at keeping this little guy nice and cool. Personally, I wouldn't use this rig for rendering, but we're gonna give you the numbers anyways. In Blender's monster scene, we saw 109 samples per minute, junk shop at 82, and Classroom averaging out at 61. 6 cores is a gaming chip. These are the numbers you get. Now that's not saying you can't do it, it's just not built for it. Now bottom line, the Cooler Master MasterFrame absolutely delivers. Back to you, Zach.
All right, who's this build for? Is it you? This build is for someone who looks at their desk and wants their PC to be the thing that people notice. Not because it has the most RGB, no. We don't care about that, but because it doesn't look like anything else. I mean, this is incredible. The MasterFrame 400 Mesh is a display piece as much as it is a computer. Every single component is chosen to look as good as it performs. And honestly, you don't get a metal finish like this often. And for the right vibe, it's irreplaceable. Cooler Master sent us fans that aren't even on the shelves in the US yet. Now, if you want to replicate this build exactly as you see it here today, keep an eye on Cooler Master's website for the DT621 and MasterFan A120 global launch. We're going to link the whole build in the description, and someone at me in the comments whenever they launch so that I can update the links, okay? Help me do my job, please. All right, who is this build not for? Great question, person watching this video. The aesthetic, I mean, it says it all. It's for a refined individual who wants an interesting statement piece and still wants to game. Also, an individual who doesn't have pets, because listen, open frame cases like this are better in cleaner living spaces. Full stop. As always, if you want something like this built for you, you can check out the brand new website at metapcs.com. It's a beautiful site. You got to go look at it. Our ready to ship builds ship the next business day. And if you want to make PC Papa smile and go to sleep happy, hit subscribe and make fun of Jared's hair in the comments. What was he thinking? We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.